This was the one on the docket that I was circling because this is a tricky team. I think this Rockets team is I think they're a good team. I like how they are built. I mean, you talk about the Knicks wings. I mean, you got to give credit because the Rockets have wings that they can throw at you in droves. They're a physical team, and the referees let them play to their strengths to start the game off. And so I thought the Knicks were going to have a tough one tonight on their hands, and they certainly did. Like I said, they were down by as much as 15. You know, a lot of the shots weren't falling, but like I said, I thought the Rockets' defense was good, man. You know, we know that what can slow down a Jalen Brunson is length and wingspan, and the Rockets did that. You know, Amen Thompson, tremendous job by him. Tari Eason, a guy who I've liked since he came out of the draft out of LSU because of his wingspan and wing versatility. You know, they had Dylan Brooks play on Brunson and be physical with him. Brooks was playing on Towns and was physical with him. So the Rockets are a team that can show you that versatility that is a strength of the Knicks, and I thought that bothered him a lot. And, you know, look, in crunch time, they were able to cut it down to one. You had Alperen Sengun getting the one-on-one with Karl Anthony Towns. He got the best of him. Knicks then put OG on him. First possession with the change, he drives past OG. OG was looking for help from Karl Anthony Towns. Couldn't get it there, so he's able to score there. When they're able to get it out of his hands, you had a Jalen Green three. You had an Amen Thompson fake pass for a dunk. Rockets out-executed the Knicks, man. 9-0 in crunch time, man.
Yeah, and tonight's a game that, a Mitchell Robinson could be missed against, a Sengun, although Sengun is stronger and heavier. You know, Mitchell Robinson being 7 feet, being able to protect the rim, block shots at the rim, contest at the point of attack, would have been a nice change of pace versus the Rockets. But I thought that they this was a very winnable game in the end because of the way that they came back. And when you look at it, you're not going to win many games when you don't get any bench production. Yeah. And with everything that happened tonight, you could simply point at the fact that we didn't get anything from Deuce tonight. Like that right there could have just been the difference in the game.
Could have been the difference.
Not getting absolutely nothing from Deuce McBride offensively. When you're on the road, although role players, the history is role players play better at home. Superstars are going to play well if they're true superstars anywhere. You need your bench to show up on the road. And tonight, the Knicks bench was not able to produce. I think tonight you also are going to see how deceiving the plus-minus stat can be, where Deuce and Sims were both, I believe, double-digit.
Plus 24 combined.
Plus 24 combined, and yet Deuce is 0 of 9, and I think just now Sims just let a rebound go off his hands.
Yeah.
So it's one of those funny things with the stats where for the duration of a season it could be a legitimate stat, but there are games where it's very, very much deceiving. So the Knicks need their bench to produce. They need Precious Achiuwa to return, and they need, Deuce McBride to bounce back.
Yeah, no question. There was no campaign tonight. Campaign was out with an injury, and like you said before we started the show, we were expecting a good night from Deuce. He got his 9 shots, but just couldn't hit a lot of the Deuce shots that he normally would hit, including in the end a point-blank layup at the rim. So that was, kind of the icing on the cake. That was Deuce McBride's night, and like you said, maybe a couple points here and there by him. And that's the end of the game by the New York Knicks. But because of the Payne injury, you did have Kolek come in. He gets 6 minutes. McBride 26 minutes. And as a result, no Precious, no Payne. Tibbs goes shorter on the bench, even with Towns in foul trouble. And so you had Bridges play 40 minutes, OG 40, and Jalen Brunson had to log 42. Because of the, just no help from the bench tonight. So I think that kind of compounded the issue tonight for the Knicks.
And one thing we learned tonight, and every team doesn't have Sengun or Embiid, guys that can get physical down low or get down on the low block. But You did see tonight that how important Towns is from a foul perspective because you
Got to
don't
be
have
disciplined.
Precious, because you don't have Mitch, and Sims right now is just a mannequin out there. So
Yeah.
it's you don't have anyone basically, and you saw how him getting in early foul trouble, it just it just changed the way he wanted to defend for the night. Because you saw even after he picked up those couple early fouls, the Rockets kept attacking him, and Towns was just letting people go around him. He wasn't trying to be physical on defense. There was a couple times he actually even got away with where he was like just trying to figure out how to defend and how to not pick up that third foul. And I think it also just dictated the way the Knicks had to defend because you wanted to keep him on the floor. You need him to be a little bit aggressive, but you had fouls with so many more game left.
Yeah. The
So
fourth one was ridiculous. The
yeah.
fourth one was ridiculous. He damn near hugged Sengun right in front of the referee and then got tight that they called it on him. It was a ridiculous foul to take a chance on.
So it's gonna be he because of the depth issue at that spot, and how important he is. That's the one of the things that he's gonna have to try to be disciplined at is we cannot afford him to get in early foul trouble because I think it could throw the whole defense away. And the Knicks are already questionable there, with him at the 5. So you definitely need him to stay out of foul trouble.
He's got to play smarter, man. He's got to play smarter. Sims is giving them absolutely nothing. They signed Huck Porty to the 2-year contract. They rewarded him with 0 minutes tonight, which was kind of weird. But all right. Yeah, so, they keep going with the Sims experiment. And look, he grabs his rebounds. He doesn't look at the basket. He's missing rebounds. I mean,
And the way
they got to make a change, man.
The way Tibbs does it. It's Deuce's time now. It's Sims's time. Like they're that next group up, right? Where they're gonna get ample time. They're gonna get opportunity. Obviously, Deuce is on another level than Sims, but Sims is in that tree of the next in the depth chart at the center spot, and because he's been here already for a few years, he's gonna get a little bit of an opportunity. I don't think he realizes how important this opportunity is because he's on the brink of being out of this rotation, possibly even as soon as Precious is back. Because let's face it, we don't have now. There's a lot of parity around the NBA. It's very early. A whole bunch of teams are 2-3 and 3-3 and all that stuff, except the Cleveland Cavaliers and OKC Thunder. But there's no time to play around. Like everything is important this season. Seeding is important. You don't want to face we don't want to have the same conversations of we don't want to face the Celtics in the second round and all that stuff. So you have to win games. And as long as we hover around 500, there's going to be question marks about what's the next thing that we need to do to take off as a team. So he needs to realize that this is his opportunity. And although it's a long season and it's early, he may not get the rest of the season to prove himself again.
Yeah.
Because we need to see something. And I don't know if it was me. I had to even tweet it on Twitter. I said, is it me or does Sims, he could have had 15 rebounds tonight, it seems, because he dropped so many off his hands.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Couple went out of bounds. He lost a few. Couldn't track a couple down.
And then on rotations, it seems like, the guy played 4 years in college. This is year 4 in the pros, but it seems like he's just always a step behind in the action.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to figure out how to be in rhythm with NBA basketball. So he needs to, for a guy as athletic as he is, I'm just surprised that how a step slow he seems to be at times and on the court. And I think that also played a little bit of a role in his minutes with Brunson. Brunson became a lot easier to defend because even when Sims was screening for Brunson, they were not respecting Sims at all. At all. So
so it's 2-on-1.
Sims needs to take advantage of this opportunity because the clock is ticking on him as a rotation player.
Back to the Discord. Rhyme Animal Chuck D on the Discord. Chuck, how you feeling, man?
Y'all hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. How you doing, man?
Yeah. Hey, what up, JD? What up, CP?
Y'all
just saw just a little bit of '90s basketball. I mean, I don't know what Udoka told those guys, but they were motivated to go at us at the start, as we knew. Yep. And Van Fleet, just got his game right back
Yep.
in the nick of time. And but I mean, come on, man. How many games are we gonna have where Deuce goes 0 for 9, although he was a plus 10? And how many chippers did we miss in the paint? They destroyed us in the paint. And
Yeah.
then, Houston, they all shaped like bamboo trees.
Yeah.
So these things ain't gonna happen much when if we're in a game and we're down by 5 and down by 3. I just think it was a case of like we got mentally gassed out, we got physically gassed out, beat down, didn't have enough. It ain't gonna happen like that much of the season, but it's a journey. This whole season is gonna be a journey, it's gonna be a discovery. I feel bad for Sims because every time I see Sims out there, it's just like his head is not in the game. His
Yeah.
head is just like 9 million things are happening around him, and I think Tibbs is trying to give the kid every little chance he got. But sooner or later, man, I mean, he doesn't look like a basketball player.
Yeah.
So I hope he turns it around. But also to add on the fact that a lot of teams that they can't go in this game and decide to follow Houston's blueprint on what they did against us because when Precious comes back and Mitchie comes back on the second half of the season, that type of game ain't gonna work against us. So I would like to see JB recognize all the assets and tools that he has on the floor, and we're gonna be all right. But understand, this is gonna be a ride. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a journey. So everybody enjoy this journey. It's gonna be nights like this. We don't want many nights like this, but hey, that's NBA basketball. I tell you one thing though. Um, I wouldn't want to be Doc Rivers. Not
Right. Yeah, for real. Could be worse, right? Could be worse, man.